Although this rarely gets considered in these unfortunate events, I believe that this is something that should be brought to everyone's attention. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about why people should and do donate organs, why people don't donate organs, and what we can do to increase these numbers. First, I'm going to be talking to you about why people should and do donate organs. The main motive of donating organs is so that when you are to meet your inevitable disease, the organs that you are no longer using can be used to better somebody else's life, specifically someone who is facing complications with these organs that are no longer in use. It is believed that this can be used to cause fulfillment in someone's disease, letting them know that their disease was used for a greater good, let's say. This may be done specifically because the individual has a specific soft spot towards organ donation. For example, they have been in the situation where they've needed an organ and feel the need to return the favor to the earth, or it has been brought to their attention in another means. For example, if they're facing a terminal illness, this is sure to be brought up by a doctor, which gives them time to think about it. This action, of course, is required to be a consensual action. In this sense, you or the individual who is in charge of making this decision has to be of consensual age, and this cannot be made, or this is designed so it is not made in any irrational or in the sense where there's pressure involved. Next, I'm going to be talking about why people do not donate organs. In most scenarios, I believe that the reason why organs are not donated is because sudden deaths are often lead to the victim not being capable of making this decision for themselves. And because this death is so sudden, asking one who is responsible for making this decision may cause them to give a negative reaction because solely for the reason as they have just experienced a death and they may not they may not feel suited to make this decision at that moment. This may be a lot to bear at the moment. Another alternative that may possibly affect the possibility of donating an organ negatively, and one that I think should be respected fully, is if religion is a complication or is a factor of this. For example, there are a few religions that require a specific procedure of what to do with the corpse. And if somebody is a follower of a religion, I actually support that you should follow through with this to the end. This has also been known to cause complications, such as the fact that it can leave victims prone to being called dead prematurely, as as being brain dead is what legally certifies you to be dead. And if you are an organ donor, in some cases, this may be your decease may be called prematurely, and so that your organs can be harvested as soon as possible, just so that they're still good for whoever will be the recipient to them. Finally, I'm going to talk about how we can increase organ donations. Addressing the first point in my subtopic 2, where I talk about how sudden deaths aren't too aware of this option and therefore have not even considered enough to put this in their will or something. I believe that this option should become more mainstream. It should be brought to more people's attention earlier on, such as in high school or middle school, perhaps during a health class. Um, when someone should learn about this can be relative and vibrate on. I believe that this could be brought on during around the same time as sex ed. I also believe that there needs to be some development in what you're allowed to be called considered brain dead or deceased. As this scares a lot of people off from donating organs, I believe that in order for to make people more open to the decision, maybe a sort of contract can be written up just so that one has security that just because you're donating an organ is not a hospital's priority to get the organ out of them as soon as they're showing any signs of being deceased. Perhaps a respective amount of time is to be waited. The final way that I believe that organ donation should be encouraged is by adding some sort of advantages to it. Though I don't believe that this should be done in a way of bribery, but more like gratitude towards the hospital that will be receiving these organs, such as the benefits of someone who is an organ donor would be free healthcare. And I believe that this is, sorry, I believe that this is something that should be agreed upon by both recipients or their parents. And I believe that if this is done, it should not ever be a permanent thing. I believe that it is something that could be later changed by perhaps paying a small fee. In conclusion, today I've talked to you about why people should donate organs, why people don't donate organs, and what we can do to maximize these numbers. I hope this was enjoyable to you all. Thank you.